Good morning, students. This is your teacher Meenakshi Sambil. How are you all doing? I hope you are making the most of your online class. Now, today I'm going to take up a lesson from your textbook Beehive from Unit 3. The title of the lesson is The Little Girl, and it is written by Catherine Mansfield. Now, I would like to talk about the author. Kathleen Mansfield Murray was born on 4th October 1888. She was a prominent New Zealand modernist short story writer and poet who was born and brought up in colonial New Zealand and wrote under the pen name of Catherine Mansfield. At the age of 19, she left New Zealand and settled in England. Mansfield was diagnosed with tuberculosis in 1917. The disease claimed her life at the age of 34 and she passed away on 9th January 1923. She is credited with writing the books The Doll's House, The Garden Party, Miss Brill, At the Bay, and many others. Now, I would be talking about the characters in the story. There are two main characters in the story. One is Kezia. Now she is the daughter who is very scared of her father at the beginning. Kezia's perception changes at the end due to the care taken by her father in her mother's absence. The second main character is Kezia's father. He is hardworking and a strict disciplinarian whose tender side is revealed at the end of the story. Besides Kezia and Kezia's father, there are two more characters. One is Kezia's mother and the other one is a grandmother in the story. Now let me introduce to all of you to the story, The Little Girl. The title of the story refers to the main character that we will come across, the little girl named Kezia. The theme of the story is the relationship between children and their parents, and the writer Catherine Mansfield wants to tell us that children share a very important bond of love with their parents. Although when children are small, when they are young, they do not feel that their parents love them because their parents are strict and many actions of the parents seems unjustified. But as children grow up, they realize that all the acts done by their parents were beneficial for them. The parents were concerned for them, and beneath the strictness lies a heart full of love for the children. And this bond of love between parents and their children has been highlighted through this story. Now, this is the warm-up question before the lesson, which is given in the Unit 3, the textbook Beehive. So, I'm going to read it out and give you an explanation of this. Do you feel you know your parents better now than when you were much younger? Perhaps you now understand the reasons for some of their actions that used to upset you earlier. Now, when we are small, when we are very small, very young, we do not know why our parents are being strict with us. But as we grow older, we become mature and we realize why they were being strict with us. And when we realize that thing, then we also realize that our parents love us. So even the reader can also relate to this. You all can also feel that when you were younger, the action your parents did, the strictness that they had towards you was for your betterment. And as you will grow older and older, you will realize that in the past, whatever acts your parents did were for your betterment, and in fact, they really love you. Now, this is the second statement of the warm-up exercise given in the lesson before the story. This story about a little girl whose feelings for her father change from fear to understanding will probably find an echo in every home. Now, what do we mean by will probably find an echo in every home? This means that all the children will feel the same way. So, you can also relate to the feeling of little girl Kezia. Just like Kezia is full of fear towards her father, and later on in the story she understands his behavior and feels that he was concerned and he loved her. all the children also have the same feeling towards their parents, and you can also relate to Kezia's story very well. Now, I'm going to start with the lesson with the reading of the paragraphs and the state sentences given in the lesson with its explanation. So students, you are going, here you see the statement, the text which is taken from the book as it is in black. The meanings of words and phrases is in blue, and the explanation of these sentences and paragraphs is given here in red. This will help you understand better. So please don't get confused. Just remember that the text which is in black here, you will find that these are same as given in the textbook, the story, and the word meanings of the words and the phrases are given in blue, and the explanation of the text is given in red. So here I start with the lesson with the first sentence. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared and avoided. Now, a figure to be feared, what does it mean? It means a person to be feared. And who is the figure to be feared here? Kezia's father. So he refers to Kezia's father, and the little girl is Kezia. So the opening line of the story is indicating the fear that Kezia had for her father. And as she is fearful of her father, she tries to avoid him, and she tries to remain away from him as far as possible. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with, "Goodbye, father." So every morning before going to work, Kezia's father would visit her in her room and give her a casual kiss. And in reply, Kezia would say, "Goodbye, father." So this action of Kezia's father shows his love for Kezia. And oh, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. Now, glad sense of relief means feeling relaxed. Fainter and fainter here in the paragraph means to lessen or reduce. Carriages like horse carts were means of conveyance, transportation used in olden times. So here we can make out the fear that Kezia has for her father. The writer says that when Kezia heard that her father's carriage was going away from home and he was leaving home, and the sound became fainter and fainter, that means the sound reduced, Kezia would have a sense of relaxation. She would feel relieved that her father had left. Now, why did she feel relieved? Because she feared her father. She was afraid of him, and so she was relieved when he left home. In the evening, when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. In the evenings, when Kezia's father would return home, she would hear his loud voice, and this loud voice again made her afraid of him. Kezia, mother would call to her, "If you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boots." Kezia's mother would call out to her and ask her to remove her father's boots. In order to make her obey, she would say that if she was a good girl, then surely she would obey her command. Slowly, the girl would slip down the stairs, more slowly still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. Now, slip down means to come down quietly and unwillingly. So again we see Kezia's fear for her father. That is why she would come down the stairs quietly and unwillingly. Unwillingly because she did not want to face her father. She feared him. By that time he had his spectacles on and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. Now just imagine Kezia's father sitting in the drawing room on a sofa wearing his spectacles, and he is looking at Kezia over the spectacles. And now the way he looked at her terrified her. She was horrified because maybe it seemed to her that he was staring at her. "Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today?" Kezia was reluctant in her work. She was slow in her motion, and so her father would tell her to hurry up and remove his boots and keep them out of the room. And then he would ask her if she had been a good girl that day. I don't know, father. And Kezia replied that she did not know. So why was she stammering? Because she was not confident. A person is not confident when he has any feeling of fear. You don't know? If you stutter like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. Stutter means to stammer, to speak with pauses, to speak haltingly. So here Kezia's father is copying her. And he also stammers like she did. He says to her that if she stuttered like that, then her mother would have to take her to the doctor for a checkup. She never stuttered with other people, had quite given it up, but only with father, because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly. Given it up means stop doing it. Trying so hard here means making a lot of efforts. So here the writer tells us that Kezia never stammered while she spoke to other people. It was only when she talked to her father that she lacked confidence, and that is why she tried very hard to speak properly and she stammered. What's the matter? What are you looking so wretched about? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. Here, Kezia, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. Now, wretched means unhappy or sad. On the brink of suicide means about to commit suicide. Suicide is to kill oneself. Now, Kezia's father looks at her. He feels that something is wrong with her. And he asked her why she was so unhappy. And then he tells the mother that she should teach Kezia to behave in a better way and she should not appear as if she is so unhappy that she is about to end her life. So he wants to say that Kezia seems to be so unhappy with her life that she did not want to live any longer. He hands her his teacup and asks her to place it back on the table. He was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. Here, this is the feeling, this is the vision that Kezia has for her father. She feels that her father was quite big. He was just like a giant. And the writer says that Kezia felt that his hand and his neck and his mouth were all so huge, especially when he yawned. It seemed as if he was a huge monster. And whenever Kezia thought about her father, she felt she was thinking about a giant. On Sunday afternoons, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. So every Sunday during the afternoon, Kezia's grandmother sent her downstairs to the drawing room in order to spend time with her parents. So Kezia was supposed to behave in a nice and decent way in front of her parents, and they had a formal get together. But the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on one of the best cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. Snoring means the sound produced by some people when they are asleep. So here we feel that Kezia felt a bit neglected. Every Sunday afternoon when she went to her parents to meet them in the drawing room and have a nice talk with them, they were busy doing their own things. Her mother was busy reading and her father was busy sleeping and snoring. So Kezia had this image of her parents in her mind. They did not talk with her. They didn't spend time with her. On the other hand, they were busy doing their own things. She sat on a stool, gravely watched him until he woke and stretched and asked the time, then looked at her. Gravely means seriously. So, all the while Kezia's father was asleep, she would just sit on a stool and watch him carefully till the time he would wake up and stretch his body and then would ask the time and look at her. Don't stare so, Kezia. You look like a little brown owl. Now, Kezia's father would compare Kezia to a little brown owl. He would say that Kezia was staring at him just like an owl does. One day, when she was kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her that father's birthday was next week and suggested she should make him a pincushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. Now Kezia was not well. She had a cold, so she was supposed to stay at home. Her grandmother suggested that as she was at home and her father's birthday was approaching, she could make a birthday gift for him. She asked Kezia to make a pin cushion for him, and she also gave her a yellow colored fabric of silk to make the cushion. Laboriously, with a double cotton, the little girl stitched 3 sides. Laboriously means with lot of effort or difficulty. Now Kezia put in a lot of effort to make the birthday gift. She used double cotton, it refers to a thread, and she stitched 3 sides of the cushion. But what to fill it with? That was the question. Now Kezia had prepared the bag shape of the cushion. She had to stitch the 4th side, and before that she had to fill the cushion with something, and she did not know what to fill the cushion with. The grandmother was out in the garden, and she wandered into mother's bedroom to look for scraps. Wandered into means went into by chance. Scraps, small pieces of cloth or paper, etc. that are not needed. So Kezia was confused at what should she use to fill the cushion with. As her grandmother was out in the garden and she was just looking for something, she reached her mother's bedroom. She was looking for bits of paper or cloth to stuff into the cushion. On the bed table, she discovered a great many sheets of fine paper, gathered them up, tore them into tiny pieces and stuffed her case, then sewed up the 4th side. Now Kezia is a small little girl, she is very young. Now what she did, on the bed table, she found a heap of sheet of paper. So she just gathered all the sheets, then tore them and stuffed those pieces of paper into the cushion, and then she stitched the 4th side of the cushion, and she had prepared a birthday gift for her father. So many of you can relate to Kezia's act. Many children do such things unknowingly. They do not intend to create any mischief or harm anyone, but they end up doing it. Now Kezia has torn some very important papers. That night there was a hue and cry in the house. Father's great speech for the Port Authority had been lost. Hue and cry means angry protest. Now there was a lot of shouting in the house because Kezia's father had prepared a speech for the Port Authority for a particular meeting and he was unable to find it. Now we all know where the speech has gone. It has been torn into tiny pieces and Kezia has stuffed it into the cushion. Rooms were searched, servants questioned. Finally, mother came into Kezia's room. Now the family searched everywhere. They asked the servants, but no one knew where the sheets of paper had gone. And finally, the mother reached Kezia's room. Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some papers on a table in our room? So Kezia's mother asked her that did she see some papers lying on a table in her mother's room? Oh yes, she said, I tore them up for my surprise. Now here we get to see that Kezia is an innocent girl. She did not intend to harm anyone. She was just preparing her birthday gift. And so very truly she tells her mother that she found some pieces of paper and as she needed them to stuff into the cushion, so she tore them and prepared her surprise gift. That is a birthday gift that she had prepared for her father. Unknowingly, Kezia had done a great disaster. What? Screamed mother. Come straight down to the dining room this instant. Now Kezia's mother is so furious when she comes to know that Kezia has torn the speech that her father is looking for. And so she orders Kezia to come down into the dining room at that very moment. And she was dragged down to where father was pacing to and fro, hands behind his back. Now Kezia's father is full of tension as his important document has been lost. Kezia has torn it into pieces. Now Kezia will be scolded for the mischief that she has done. Well, he said sharply. Mother explained. He stopped and stared at the child. Did you do that? No, she whispered. Mother, go up to her room and fetch down the damned thing. See that the child's put to bed this instant. The damned thing means here it is used to express anger at something. Now, why is Kezia's father referring to the cushion that she has prepared as a damned thing? Because he is angry at the cushion because Kezia has torn his important document to prepare it. Now, he's very angry with Kezia and he stared at her and asked her if she had torn the papers. Kezia was so scared that she was again stammering. And then Kezia's father ordered mother to go and bring that cushion downstairs and asked her to put Kezia to bed at that very moment. Crying too much to explain, she lay in the shadowed room watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. Shadowed room means that as it was dark, there was a light outside the room which was making shadows in the room. A sad little pattern refers to the sad atmosphere in the room. Kezia wanted to justify her action as she was innocent. She did not mean to harm her father. She was just preparing a surprise birthday gift for him. Kezia was very sad. She had been happy that she had prepared a surprise for her father and he would like it, but on the other hand, she had accidentally committed a disaster. Then father came into the room with a ruler in his hands. Now he was about to punish Kezia for the wrong act she had done. "I'm going to beat you for this," he said. "Oh, no, no," she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. Bedclothes refers to the sheets, the top sheets that you cover yourself when you are sleeping. Now Kezia's father told her that he would beat her with a ruler. Kezia was so scared that she tried to hide under the sheets. He pulled them aside. "Sit up," he ordered, "and hold out your hands. You must be taught once and for all not to touch what does not belong to you." Now here we come to know that why Kezia's father was being strict with her. Why was he punishing her? Because he wanted Kezia to know this thing once for all, that she should not touch that thing that does not belong to her. He wanted to teach her this thing so that it benefited in her future life. Right now, she was a small child. She did not know what was important and what was not important. That is why, unknowingly, she had torn the important document of her father, and so he was punishing her. He did not want to harm Kezia, but he wanted that Kezia should know that in future she should not touch anything that does not belong to her. "But it was your birthday." Kezia tried to explain her position. She said that she had been preparing a birthday gift for her father and had to stuff it with something. She just tore the papers to stuff them into the cushion. She was trying to explain to him that she was just preparing a birthday gift for him. She wanted to give him a surprise. She did not want to tear his important documents, but Kezia's father did not listen to her excuses. Down came the ruler on her little pink palms. Kezia's father hit the palms of her hand with a ruler. Hours later, when grandmother had wrapped her in a shawl and rocked her in the rocking chair, the child clung to her soft body. Clung means to attach yourself to something. Now Kezia was so afraid. She had got beating. Her father had hit her small little palms with a ruler, and many hours later her grandmother wrapped her in a shawl and was trying to pacify her, to calm her. She made her sit in her lap on a rocking chair and she was trying to put Kezia to sleep, and Kezia clung to her grandmother. "What did God make fathers for?" she sobbed. So Kezia was still not comfortable. She was crying and she said that God should not have made fathers. She hated her father. She was so innocent. She did not know what wrong she had done. She was just preparing a gift for him. She was heartbroken as he did not understand her and said that God should not have made fathers. "Here's a clean hanky, darling. Blow your nose. Go to sleep, pet. You'll forget all about it in the morning." I tried to explain to father, but he was too upset to listen tonight. Now Kezia's grandmother was trying to pacify her. She gave her a handkerchief to blow her nose in it and asked her to go to sleep. She added that by morning Kezia would forget the beating. Kezia tried to justify herself. She said that she was trying to explain to him the reason for tearing the sheets of paper, but he was not ready to listen to her. So again we see that the little child was so innocent. She did not realize that her father hit her to teach her a lesson so that she did not touch anything that did not belong to her. But the child never forgot. Next time she saw him, she quickly put both hands behind her back and a red color flew into her cheeks. Now Kezia's grandmother had told her to go to sleep and that by morning she would forget the beating that her father gave her. But Kezia never forgot the beating that she had got. Whenever she saw her father approaching, she would keep her hands behind her back because she felt that maybe he would hit her again, and red color flew into her cheeks. Whenever she saw her father, she got scared and her cheeks got full of red color. The McDonalds lived next door. They had 5 children. Looking through a gap in the fence, the little girl saw them playing tag in the evening. The father, with the baby Mao on his shoulders, 2 little girls hanging onto his coat pockets, ran round and round the flower beds, shaking with laughter. Once she saw the boys turn the hose on him, and he tried to catch them, laughing all the time. Here the writer tells us about Kezia's neighbors. Her neighbors were a family named McDonalds. In all, the McDonalds had 5 children, and Kezia would peep at them through a hole in the fence. She would see that the family had a lot of fun. They played a game called tag. Tag is a children's game of catching one another like we play catch catch. So, all the children, along with their father, would have a lot of fun. Mr. McDonald would make his little baby mouse sit on his shoulders, and the 2 little daughters that he had would hang on to his coat pockets. So all the children were so much attached to their father. They loved him so much that they would stick to him. And then they would run around the garden, around the flower beds, and they would laugh and laugh and laugh. Kezia also wanted to have such fun with her father, and she missed it. One day she saw that the little sons of Mrs. McDonald opened the hose on him. They opened the water pipe and tried to make him wet, but Mr. McDonald was not angry with them. He tried to catch them and he was laughing. This was very strange for Kezia because her father was just the opposite of Mr. McDonald. Then it was she decided there were different sorts of fathers. Now, when Kezia saw Mr. McDonald, she realized that he was quite opposite to her father. She felt that God had made various kinds of fathers. Suddenly, one day, mother became ill and she and grandmother went to hospital. One day, Kezia's mother fell ill, so she was taken to the hospital and the grandmother also went along with her. The little girl was left alone in the house with Alice the cook. That was all right in the daytime, but while Alice was putting her to bed, she grew suddenly afraid. Now Kezia was all alone at home with the cook. The name of the cook is Alice. Kezia was fine during the day, but at night when the cook put Kezia to bed all alone, Kezia started feeling scared. What'll I do if I have a nightmare? She asked. Nightmare means a bad dream. Kezia asked Alice that if she had a bad dream, what would she do when she was all alone? I often have nightmares and then Granny takes me into her bed. I can't stay in the dark. It all gets whispery. Kezia explained to Alice that whenever she had nightmares, she would go to her grandmother and she would sleep with her. So she said that she could not stay all alone in the dark because she would be scared. She could hear different kinds of whispering sounds which made her feel that there was someone around her. You just go to sleep, child, said Alice, pulling off her socks, and don't you scream and wake your poor pa. So, Kezia's father was sleeping in the next room, and Alice told Kezia to sleep quietly. She removed Kezia's socks and asked her not to scream. She warned her not to scream and wake her father, but Kezia was helpless. But the same old nightmare came, the butcher with a knife and a rope, who came nearer and nearer, smiling that dreadful smile while she could not move, could only stand still, crying out, Grandma, Grandma! She woke shivering to see father beside her bed, a candle in his hand. A butcher is a person who cuts animals, who cuts meat. So now this is a nightmare that Kezia had often. She would see a butcher. This butcher would be holding a big knife, a huge butcher's knife and a rope, and he would approach Kezia. He had a dreadful smile on his face, and once Kezia would see him, she would feel that she was unable to move. She was so much scared of him. She was terrified to see this butcher, and in her sleep, Kezia cried out for help. She called for her grandmother. When Kezia woke up, she saw he was shivering. She was trembling, and she saw that her father was standing next to her bed and he was holding a candle in his hand. So Kezia's father had heard her screams and he had heard that Kezia was calling for help for her grandmother, and he had come to help her. What's the matter? He said. Now he asked Kezia what the matter was, why she was screaming. Oh, a butcher, a knife, I want Granny. Kezia was still scared of the nightmare. She said that there was a butcher, he was holding a dreadful knife, and she wanted her grandmother. He blew out the candle, bent down, and caught up the child in his arms, carrying her along the passage to the big bedroom. So here we can see the affection that Kezia's father has for her. He blew the candle off, he lifted her and carried her to his bedroom. A newspaper was on the bed. He put away the paper, then carefully tucked up the child. Tucked up means covered up nicely in bed. Kezia's father lay her in his bed next to him and covered her with the top sheets. He lay down beside her, half asleep still with the butcher's smile all about her, it seemed. She crept close to him, snuggled her head under his arm, held tightly to his shirt. Snuggled means moved into a warm, comfortable position close to another person. Now Kezia felt her father's affection, and so she went close to him. She snuggled herself towards her father, and she held his shirt tightly so that she would not feel scared again. And now Kezia had overcome her fear of her father. Then the dark did not matter. She lay still. Now once Kezia was with her father, she was no longer afraid. Here, rub your feet against my legs and get them warm, said father. He asked Kezia to rub her feet against his legs so that they became warm. Tired out, he slept before the little girl. A funny feeling came over her. So, as Kezia's father was very tired, he slept before she did. A funny feeling came over her. Poor father, not so big after all, and with no one to look after him, he was harder than grandmother, but it was a nice hardness. And every day he had to work and was too tired to be a Mr. MacDonald. She had torn up all his beautiful writing. She stirred suddenly and sighed. Now here Kezia realizes her mistake, and she felt affection towards her father. She felt that her father was a poor man. He worked so hard. Why she says he was poor, it means that because he worked so hard. He was not so big as she found him to be earlier. Now she felt that her father was a poor man who worked very hard, and so he got so tired that he went off to sleep and did not play with her like Mr. MacDonald did with his children. But Kezia felt that her father's heart was also full of love for her. She realizes that she had torn up his important document, the speech that he had written, and all this realization made her take a deep breath. She realized that she had been wrong, and that was why her father had beaten her. He had been so strict with her. What's the matter? Asked her father. Another dream? Although Kezia's father was asleep, he heard her sigh. He heard the sound that Kezia made, and he asked her what the matter was. Was she again watching a bad dream? Oh, said the little girl, my head's on your heart. I can hear it going. What a big heart you've got, father dear. Kezia replied to her father that she had placed her head on her father's heart and she could hear his heartbeat, and she complimented her father that he had a big heart. So Kezia is showing her love for her father as she had realized that her father also loved her. Now, this is the summary of the little girl. Children, you can just read it out. This will help you understand the lesson better. I hope the lesson is quite clear to you. You'll be also given a PDF of the lesson. Please go through it and feel free to clarify your doubts tomorrow. Have a good day.